Good evening. I, along with Ms. Fine and Mrs. Stranick, would like to welcome you all to Charles F. Brush High School National Honor Society induction ceremony. We are pleased to have parents, board members, teachers, and administrators in attendance, but especially our present NHS members and our honored inductees. Inductees, you may be seated. It is exciting every year to see these fine young people who have been selected for induction into National Honor Society based on their scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Congratulations to you all. We look forward to seeing great achievements from you both this year and in the future. We thank you all for all that you have done to make Brush High School the place of learning and excellence that it is.
Good evening. I'm Mrs. Stranick, one of the advisors of National Honor Society, and I'd like to share a little bit about the history of our organization. In 1921, the National Association of Secondary School Principals officially established the National Honor Society. Though many local and regional honor societies existed prior to 1921, no national organization had yet been founded. Under the leadership of Dr. Edward Ranierson, principal of the Fifth Avenue High School in Pittsburgh, the Alpha chapter was born. Within 9 years, more than 1,000 chapters existed, and today there are chapters in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and Canada. According to the national organization's goals, NHS hopes to recognize and encourage academic achievement while developing other characteristics essential in a democracy. Our Constitution outlines 4 main pillars of the National Honor Society, which guide chapters: to create enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate a desire to render service, to promote leadership, and to develop character in the students of secondary schools. Those purposes translate into the criteria used for membership selection in each chapter. Tonight, we are pleased to welcome 13 young people who have met these criteria. They are a tribute to Brush High School and to you, their parents, teachers, counselors, and administrators who have guided them on their journey toward excellence. I would now like to introduce NHS President Bailey Bryant.
Thank you all for joining us today. I want to take this time to welcome everyone to the 2025 National Honor Society induction ceremony. Today is such a special day. We have the privilege of welcoming 13 astonishing, talented students to the National Honor Society. Today, we are recognizing these students' remarkable achievements in academics, service, leadership, and character. 2024 inductee Ryan Heidick will light a candle to represent scholarship. The first branch of the National Honor Society is scholarship. The inductees behind me all have achieved a grade point average of 3.5 or higher, but even more importantly, they embody a commitment to learning. The pursuit of knowledge doesn't end at the classroom doors, and the Brush NHS inductees have learned that knowledge can be acquired only through diligence and effort. Learning fuels the lamp by which we read the past and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. I would now like to introduce Vice President Giselle Simpkins to describe leadership.
"2024 inductee Henry Shelby will light a candle to represent leadership. The leaders at Brush High School exert a wholesome influence on the school in taking the initiative in class and in school activities. The real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective, The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence. It will go towards when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country or a school, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a meaningful change to each of our members. I would now like to introduce Secretary Mel Walther to describe character.
Giselle will light a candle to symbolize character. Character is the force within each individual that distinguishes that person from others. It gives each of us our individuality. But when we talk about character for the students of National Honor Society, the word means so much more than that. Implicit in the term is the ethical or moral nature of an individual, that product of constant action, striving daily to make the right choices. We must be, then, in reality, what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. I would now like to introduce parliamentarian Lucas Alexander to describe service.
Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and our abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Ms. Fine. I am Mrs. Strainick's co-advisor for National Honor Society. And tonight I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Jamison Days. Mr. Days is a 2013 graduate of Brush High School, where he too was inducted into National Honor Society. Upon graduation, Mr. Days continued his education at Ohio University, and after receiving his degree, he spent a year in China teaching English and coaching basketball. Mr. Days holds a master's degree in education from Cleveland State University and is in his second year as the 9th grade assistant principal here at his alma mater. When he isn't chasing down freshmen, he resides in Lyndhurst with his lovely wife, Sarah, and their two beautiful children, Hendrix and Harlow. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Days to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, administrators. Good evening, teachers that are present, families, friends, and of course, our wonderful inductees. It's a true honor to stand before everyone tonight for the Brush High School National Honor Society induction ceremony. For me, this moment carries a very special meaning. As noted, many years ago, I sat where you sit now as a proud inductee of the Brush High School National Honor Society. I remember the pride I felt, but also the sense of responsibility that came along with wearing the NHS emblem. Being a part of NHS helped shape me as a student, as a leader, and as a member of my community. And tonight, I'm reminded that that tradition continues with all of you, and I couldn't be more proud to celebrate your accomplishments. The National Honor Society is built on the 4 timeless pillars: scholarship, leadership, character, and service. These values are not simply honors to list on a resume. They are a way of life, principles that, when embraced, shape who you are and how we impact the world around us. Tonight, I'd like to reflect on each pillar and share a little bit about what they meant to me during my time at Brush, and I challenge you to think about how they will guide you through your journeys in adulthood. First up, scholarship. And for good reason, it represents not only academic achievement, but also a love of learning, curiosity, and perseverance. When I was at Brush, being a part of NHS pushed me to see learning as more than grades. But yes, we celebrated high GPAs and strong test scores, but the true value of scholarship was in how it shaped our mindset. Scholarship means asking questions even when the answer isn't obvious. It means being willing to struggle through a difficult assignment, knowing that growth often happens in moments of challenge. It means reading beyond what's required, connecting lessons from class to real life, and seeking knowledge for the joy of understanding. As NHS members, you've already demonstrated a commitment to academic excellence. But I challenge you all, don't stop there. Think of scholarship as a lifelong pursuit. Whether you go on to college, technical training, the military, or directly into a career, the world will keep changing around you. The most successful people are those who keep learning, adapting, and growing. Be the person who never stops being curious. The second pillar is leadership. When many people think of leadership, they picture someone standing at the front of a room, giving orders. But leadership is so much more than that. At Brush, I saw that true leaders were not always the loudest voices, but often the ones who listened the most, encouraged others, and led by example. During my own NHS journey, leadership meant stepping outside of my comfort zone. It meant speaking up when I saw a need, even if I didn't have all the answers. It also meant organizing service projects, helping classmates, and sometimes simply showing up consistently when others were counting on me. As new NHS members, you'll be looked at as leaders in this school and the community. Leadership is not about titles, it's about influence. You influence everyone every time you show up. You show integrity, kindness, and determination. Some of you may lead sports teams, clubs, or student organizations, and others may lead quietly by mentoring a younger student, standing up for someone being treated unfairly, or putting in extra effort that inspires your peers. Leadership is not about doing everything yourself, it's about bringing out the best in others. As you carry this pillar forward, ask yourself daily, how can my actions make it easier for others to succeed? And the third pillar, character. Of all the values of NHS represents, character is one that cannot be faked. It is who you are when no one's watching. When I was a student at Brush, there were moments where character mattered more than any test score or award. It mattered when I faced temptation to cut corners, or when I had to decide whether to take responsibility for my actions, or when I had to treat others with respect, even when it wasn't easy. Character is built in small decisions, choosing honesty over convenience, choosing respect over disrespect, and humility over arrogance. It's about living in a way that reflects integrity, fairness, and compassion. And here's the truth. People may forget what you say or even what you accomplish, but they will always remember how you made them feel or whether or not you could be trusted. As NHS members, your character will be tested. You'll be role models, and sometimes that means holding yourself to a higher standard than those around you. Remember that character isn't about being perfect. It's about consistently striving to do what's right, even when it's hard. The final pillar is service. Service was perhaps the most meaningful takeaway from my time in NHS at Brush. I remember participating in community service projects, and what struck me the most was how giving my time to others gave me a sense of purpose. Service teaches us empathy. It reminds us that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. It bridges divides and connects us with people we might never otherwise meet. Whether it was tutoring a classmate, volunteering at an event, or organizing a fundraiser, service was where the values of scholarship, leadership, and character came to life. Today, we live in a world that often emphasizes individual achievement, but the greatest measure of success is how much we give back. As NHS members, you are called not just to serve when it's convenient, but to build service into your way of life. Ask yourself, how can my skills, my time, and my voice help improve the lives of others? When you answer that question with action, you not only change your community, but you can change yourself. So inductees, tonight you're being recognized not only for what you have accomplished, but what you are capable of achieving. You embody the 4 pillars: scholarship, leadership, character, and service. And with them comes responsibility. You are the role models for your peers, the hope for your families, and the future leaders of our community. As someone who once sat in your seat, I want to assure you, the lessons you take from NHS will last long after high school. I encourage you to wear this honor with pride and not just as a pin on your jacket or your clothes, but as a compass for decisions and actions that you have moving forward. Let me leave you with this challenge. Every day, ask yourself, how can you learn a little bit more? How can you lead a little bit better? And how can you live with greater integrity and serve with a bigger heart? If you do that, you won't just be living out the pillars of NHS, you'll be leaving a legacy. So congratulations, Brush High School National Honor Society inductees. I'm very proud of you, not only as your principal, but as a fellow NHS member, and I can't wait to see the impact that you all will make in this role. Congratulations, and thank you all.
National Honor Society, to which I have been selected to build strong character in myself and others, to advance scholarship, to provide leadership, and to serve my school, my community, and my country in the interest of humanity. We will now introduce the inductees and present each one with a pin. Elena Appline, Lucy Braun, Chloe Carpenter, Sean Hills, Tabitha King, Amanda McGoughlin, Mila Moore, Jabril Murray, Skylar Redding, Shyla Sample, Michaela Williams, Kamari Young Whitworth, and Gus Zaucha. I'd like to thank our principal, Ms. Harris, guest speaker, Mr. Days, and our advisors, Ms. Fine and Ms. Stranick, for their hard work in organizing this year's induction ceremony. Special thanks go to Mr. Phil and his AV team, as well as Ms. Barrick and the Chamber Orchestra. Please join me in thanking them with a round of applause. Thank you all for attending the National Honor Society induction ceremony. Please join me once again in congratulating all of our new society member inductees. We hope you can join us for cake and punch in the media center. Please remain seated until the members of the NHS have recessed.